Welcome to Build Out with Jim Kunkel, your go-to broadcast for learning more about business in the real world. Your host, Jim Kunkel, who's an accomplished professional in business development, sales, and marketing, and is a technical content creator along with being a rising influencer on LinkedIn. On Build Out, you'll get the latest information and knowledge from subject matter experts from across the globe. Okay, let's get this Build Out broadcast started. And here's your host, Jim Kunkel.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Build Out. I'm Jim Kunkel. Joining me today is a special guest, Mick Moorhead from Product Evaluation Systems. Mick, welcome.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Mick, before we would start our conversation today on how business development how it can help grow your company, could you provide your professional background and talk a little bit about Product Evaluation Systems?
Sure, Jim. I've been in sales, business development, marketing for 20 plus years now. Most recently here at Product Evaluation Systems, it's been about 10 years that I've been on board. As you mentioned, I'm a director of sales and marketing. Product Evaluation Systems, we're a independent materials testing laboratory. We specialize in mechanical testing, metallurgical analysis, and chemistry analysis.
Excellent, excellent. So in today's conversation that we're going to have related to business development, we wanted to look at the different aspects and really focus on the real purpose of business development. And one I'm going to quote here is an author that I have read in the past, Scott Pollock. He had published a book called What Exactly is Business Development? Now, out of the book, he developed he called the Grand Unified Theory of Business Development. Let me read that, how that theory works. And it states that business development is the creation of long-term value for a company or organization from customers, markets, and relationships. Now, Mick, when we look at sales, we look at marketing aspects, and business development tends to be a very important element for a company. You yourself and I, we are involved heavily in business development. How important is it for business development to function within a company when it comes to market growth, revenue growth, and future growth of a company?
Well, the business development process is key to the success. You have to keep in mind there are things that are outside of your control year to year with clients. The company may go out of business. Contacts may change. So, you have to continue to replenish that backlog, if you will, with new potential people. And as you mentioned, the relationship part of it is key to it.
Yeah, and I think we would both agree on this, and I know many watching this when it comes to business development might agree with this, is that the focus for business development is really not that daily transactions that go on. That's going to be more of the sales function. But with business development, we're really in a way, we're shaking the trees, we're kicking the bushes. We're looking for future opportunities for growth related to revenues and profitability. But also in addition to that, we're really looking at finding new partnerships, and that might be working with others within the industry in partnership agreements. It might be even in some cases partnering with our customers. And, when you look at business development today, we've seen a huge influx of AI, and really the future goes into these technologies and how they integrate not only with all the functions within a company, sales, the marketing, the finance, the accounting, operations, manufacturing, but also when it comes to business development. And I know that you track a lot of metrics when it comes to LinkedIn and other type of social media. How do you see, in your opinion, when you're looking at Google Analytics and a lot of these other type of AIs out there, where do you see some of the future opportunities coming from technology?
Well, we've put a lot of focus in the last several years here at PES with the social media, different platforms. And we participate on multiple platforms, but the most, I guess, best bang for a buck is with LinkedIn. We've had a lot of success there. Just in the past year, we doubled our followers on our company page. and it's been really good for us. Um, it's someone that's been in the industry for 20 plus years. These are tools that we didn't have back then, and they have been very successful with us getting our message out there. And with what we do, it's unique to our clients, and we've taken an approach where some of the marketing aspects that we're doing about what we do is we understand that everybody out there doesn't know what we do, and so we're trying to keep it basic, and from a standpoint that someone that doesn't know that we give them just a little taste of what we're doing and some of the technical information that maybe someone that is more technical that needs that information.
That's a great point. And to kind of focus a little bit back on the LinkedIn aspect of it, but prior to the stream, we had a conversation, and I was explaining to you that, related to my broadcast here with Build Out, its focuses on business topics. But in my professional career as a business development professional, it really has helped open doors for me. And many time I get recognized when I'm talking to a new prospect where, they might not know much about me, but when I do, drop my name or they look at my LinkedIn profile, they're like, oh yeah, I watch your broadcast. I've seen the videos you do. I see the posts that you do. It really does make a big difference. And in some of these technologies with the LinkedIn Live, like this broadcast is here, these broadcasts, it's live. There are viewers watching it now. It lives in replay. It's an opportunity for you to send this to clients and prospects. And then some of the other type of technologies that are coming when you look at LinkedIn audio, we were talking a little bit about that, where now you can have actual audio broadcast with maybe on topics, but also if you're a business, you could focus into the core values or core opportunities that you provide in the industry. So good point there. Very good point. Now, prior to the broadcast, Mick, I had done a survey, and in the survey, I was asking, in the opinion of the viewers, which business development activity is most important, and what clearly won out was for business development to focus on relationships. Now also too, aligning company strategy with BD and then mission focus on market share, those are important as well. But the focus on relationships is critical. In your experience and also too related to PES, how important is business development when it comes to relationships with your customers?
Yeah, the relationship is key, especially with some of the technical type of work that we do. Giving folks that comfort level, whether it be directly with myself or with other individuals here at the company. I need the support and help from my other team members, and it's critical to that process for us doing the work in a timely manner and to the requirements. But along with relationships, I've always, I'm a people person, and I like to get to know people, and that's always been something that I enjoy, because everybody's different in their own way. Everybody has different interests, and it's yes, we're here to do a job. It's business, but there's also time for stepping aside and getting to know people, maybe on a personal level.
Yeah, definitely. And, let's focus now related to business development activities that are focused on growth. And it kind of ties into that survey that I had done earlier in the week here. In the first aspect of it, and this goes back actually with Scott Pollock, align strategy with business development. And, operationally, companies and organizations should embrace two concepts. The first is innovation. And based on the research that Pollock had done, 90% of businesses really value innovation. PES, to use for an example, I'm very familiar with you. We're friends, professional friends, and we're friends as well. I've known PES over the years. You've invested a lot into innovation, both technology and also approach to the market, to your customers and things like that. What are some of the things that companies can do or business development professionals can do, in your opinion, related to innovation?
Well, some of it's back to the relationship, getting to know the customer, and then, finding out, you don't always have to, with our business, we have to do things when we're working to specifications. We have to do things to the specification to meet the requirements. But, the upfront process of, getting the work in, and then, streamlining it through the system, you know, talk to them and see, they're, make them understand. And we try to have folks come in and see how we do things. We like to go and see them. Obviously the last couple of years that's limited everybody, but learning and understanding their process, and also educating them on your process, and then finding ways that, maybe we need to tweak how we do things, to process the order, based on how they normally supply the information, or vice versa. If you're able to supply the data in this form versus that form, that sometimes will be beneficial for people.
Yeah, I like that where, you're listening to your customers. Your customers obviously are going to tell you how they want to do business and what they're looking for. And you're going to be providing that back to them based off of that feedback. And also, too, I really like when you're talking about the aspect with the specification, and obviously when you're dealing with projects, is that you want to meet that specification. But if you have a relationship with that customer, with that client, you're going to help them shape that specification so that obviously it's going to dovetail and fit perfectly into what your business does offer. It's a value to the customer. It's a value to you because you have a stronger relationship. So very important in that aspect. The next aspect for business development is activity-wise is really the market mindset. And, growth comes from, knowledge of your customers and your partners and the products. And it's always very critical to monitor, evaluate, but also go back and inform as well. Now, a lot of companies and organizations use CRM systems out there. It could be a Salesforce.com. It could be something and other platforms. But it really comes down to the amount of information that is accurate information going into the CRM. But then it has to be capitalized. It has to be executed on. It has to be strategized on. It has to be used properly. You and I have had an opportunity. We worked together in a past company, and the CRM system was very good to have because we knew exactly where the customers were. We knew what type of products they bought. We knew cycles and things like that, and it really made the selling process, a lot easier for internal. But if you're doing business development work as well, you really know that customer very well. And again, not giving away any secrets. PES is very involved in trade shows. You're involved in doing a lot of activities with your customers and prospects. What are some of the ways that you monitor the industry that you service?
Well, as you mentioned with the trade show, and then some of the local chapters that we belong to or we participate in, staying in tune with, the different, we cover a wide range of materials and industries. So it's a lot to keep up with. But, I like to use our clients as resources, our current clients, as far as, what's going on, and, get a pulse on the market, whether it's for us, for a particular material grade, industry, or whatever the case might be. That's very helpful. Once again, it all goes back to communicating and listening to folks.
And you're going through and you're evaluating. Obviously, you have KPIs. You put out a performance report, I believe, every month that you post actually on LinkedIn. So you're providing a lot of that. You're being transparent as a company, and that's very good to do. The other thing is by following you on LinkedIn, I do see that you do evaluate the industry very well, because you've made adjustments to new equipment, new technologies you brought to bear, and also to your approach to markets. Now, when it comes to informing your prospects, well, it would be your customers and your prospects, what are some of the things, again, not giving away too many state secrets, but what are some of the ways that you inform your customers and prospects?
Well, once again, the social media platforms, that's big for us, and in regards to informing them. We've done the Zoom meeting, team meetings over the past couple of years, face-to-face meetings, which is our preferred method of communicating with our clients. Email campaigns, um, uh, print ads, whether print ad or advertisement, whether it be print ads or online. Um, uh, just word of mouth. If we ask clients, hey, this is something new we're doing, if there's anybody that has a need for us, feel free to share it or pass our information along.
What about involvement in trade associations or industry groups? Do you belong to any of the organizations out there?
Yeah, we have, with us, we work to a lot of the ASTM specs. So we have team members that are involved with the ASTM meetings that happen. I think they're semi-annual, and then also we're involved with NADCAP, and we have folks that participate in those meetings too. Once again, a lot of those have been virtual recently.
Yeah, everything's kind of hopefully soon getting back to what it was prior to 2020. And then the last activity that I wanted to talk related to business development is scope of scope of action. And when I look at business development activities, they really need to be first customer focused. And we talked about some of those ways to be engaged and involved with your customers. That's important. You want to make sure that they feel that they're not a transaction or you're just looking for the next business opportunity to work with them. You really want to have that interaction with them, and that you work a lot better with them. The next thing would be relationship focus. So it's important to have a relationship with your customers versus, again, not having that transaction. The third aspect is organization focused as well. And what I mean by that is it's a little bit more, maybe you're integrated with them and you're helping them with their organization. So sometimes you have companies that you strategically partner with to help them grow their business. And in growing their business, it helps you grow your business as well because you're doing more work with them. You're doing more activity with them. And then the last part would be knowledge focus. And knowledge is so critical. Information is important to have, but also that knowledge, to relay that knowledge to others. And that adds a lot of value to the customer. The third and final topic I wanted to cover with you is related to metrics related to business development. And what we want to do as business development professionals and companies and organizations is to create some KPIs, some key performance indicators. And some of the ways that you can measure business development activity, the first is really the acquisition of customers. Looking at exactly, have we retained our active customers year after year, and then what are some of the new customers? As you know, majority of the business is coming from existing customers, but you have to make sure that you are adding more newer customers, converting prospects to customers into the funnel and things like that. Before we would talk a little bit more about KPIs, what are some of the KPIs that you feel are important for business development?
Well, as you mentioned, the customer retention, and one thing that we do here is, we're tracking the new business that we add on a monthly basis, and then we will track that month to month for that particular year, and and then we'll look at at the end of the year the clients that we have on the books then versus the previous year. And then we can usually, in most cases, we can usually go back and see if someone has stopped doing business with us. We have situations where we have clients that only need us when they have a problem, and that's good for us, and that's good for them. That it may only be once every couple of years or so. We're also not only looking at the business that we're adding, the revenue that comes with it, but we're looking at where that's coming from. Was that a customer referral? Was it was it from our website? Was it from a trade show, et cetera? So that's important to us to look at those trends. That way there we can make good decisions. For instance, if we see that, a particular trade show that we attend that happens to be in the spring every year, we see an influx of clients that are a result of that, then we know that that's a good return on our investment to participate in that particular trade show on an annual basis. If you're seeing trends in other areas where it be customer referrals, we're asking why people are referring us. What's the reason why? And then when we're talking to new people, we can also use that as marketing.
That's a very good point. And, related to the KPIs, we're just talking about the acquisition and activation, from prospect to customer, and obviously having the retention of customers as well. And you threw out the other two KPIs that I wanted to cover, which was dealing with the referrals. That's a great measurement of success as well, where you're getting referrals coming in. And then obviously the most important thing is going to be bottom line revenue, when you're looking at not only revenue, but profitability as well. And that's a great key performance indicator as well to gauge the success of business development. In some cases, there could be certain situations, depending on your industry or how you operate, that business development might not be something that's simple to track. Like if you were doing transactional sales, that if you have 10 sales a day and you have X amount of revenue, but with business development, a lot of times you have a lot of front end work being done that ultimately, as time goes on, it is bringing in additional revenues, it's bringing in new opportunities, it's growing the existing business that you have as well. And so that investment into business development is critical for any organization or company to move forward. Mick, we covered a lot of really great topics here. We had a very great, thorough conversation. Is there anything that we did not talk about related to business development and also growing your company that you'd want to leave with the viewers?
I think sometimes people, get caught up on the number of people that you want to be prospecting. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it from, quality is better than quantity, and meaning that it takes time and everybody's process is different from introduction to close. But I think a lot of people forget that, one call or two follow-up calls or three sometimes is not enough. Sometimes you have to, that's a long process. And I think a lot of what I've seen with some of the younger professionals, that if it doesn't happen right now, they're done with it. And it's a process that you have to go through. You have to be persistent, and you have to do your due diligence in converting someone to a client. At times it's easy, and times it's difficult. And it's when things are difficult is really what makes the difference in the long run.
It definitely makes the difference. So, Mick, how can the viewers get in contact with Product Evaluation Systems, and also how can they get in contact with you? Is there any website, social media?
The website's www.pes-testing.com. We can be reached at phone, which is preferred, 724-834-8848. And then my email address, feel free to email me directly at mic@pes-testing.com. And then we're also on LinkedIn, as we mentioned before, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Excellent. And everybody, you can catch an all-new episode of Build Out every Wednesday at noon Eastern here on LinkedIn and other social media platforms as well. Mick, I so greatly appreciate this opportunity to have a conversation with you today.
Thanks, Jim. It's always good seeing you, and appreciate the invite and opportunity.
Excellent, excellent. Have a great day, and goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you next week.
I hope you found value with today's Build Out broadcast. Make sure you connect with Jim on LinkedIn and subscribe to his YouTube channel. This way you'll be notified on new live streams and when new content is released. Please give today's broadcast a like and share with your connections and colleagues. Thanks for watching, and please visit buildoutproductions.com for additional content and to join the mailing list so you can keep updated on other streams and quality content from the creators on the Build Out Productions team.